All right, ladies and gentlemen, good news for you. Today we are doing something other than 89 Topps Baseball Cello. Yeah, I know, shock, right? All right, today we're going to open up a box of NFL Pro Set 1989 Series 2. All right, maybe we'll get a Aikman rookie, Michael Irvin rookie, Thurman Thomas rookie, Bo Jackson. Let's see what we can pull here. Maybe, if we're lucky, maybe Santa Claus. Let's see what we got. All right. We've got Steve Snell, Tracy Rocker, Will Wilford, Jay Novacek, Mike Haynes, Jason Buck, Dave Craig, Brad Edelman, Tom Ricketts, Kevin Mack, James Hasty, Jonathan Hayes, John Frank, Alan Pinkett, Hank Stram. All right. Starting off with a bang here. All right, let's see. Henry Thomas, Albert Lewis, Aaron Jones, Phil Simms. We will put Phil Simms up here for now. Broderick Thomas, Kirk Lodermilk, Dexter Manley, Don Mosbar, Mike Merriweather, Steve McNair. We'll put Mongo up on the stand. Mike Reichenbach, Jim Mora, Eric Allen, Ralph Mozijenko, Will McDonough. All right. Jamie Holland, Andre Reed. Put Andre Reed up here for now. Henry Ellard, Earl Farrell, Ernest Givens, Pete Manley, Jonathan Hayes, Nick Lowry, Thomas Everett, Bart Oates, Tom Ricketts, Chris Dolman, Monty Coleman, Matt Millen, Ahmad Rashad. All right, Jim Jensen, Mark Duper, Carl Banks, John Williams, Keith Millard, Steve Atwater. We'll put Steve Atwater up here on the stand. Bobby Butler, Kevin Butler, Dean Biscotti, Chris Collinsworth. All right, for you Sunday Night Football fans, we'll put Collinsworth up there. Max Montoya, Ken O'Brien, Lawrence McGrew, James Jefferson, Vern Lundquist. Leroy Irvin, Anthony Bell, Bruce Matthews, Lomas Brown, Henry Thomas, Albert Lewis, Aaron Jones, Phil Simms, Broderick Thomas, Kurt Lodermilk, Dexter Manley, Don Moosbar, Mike Mayweather, another McNair, Vern Lundquist. We've seen that pack already. Let's get something fresh and new here. Thomas Sanders, Eric Moore, Chuck Knox, Doug Martin, Eric Hill, Scott Case, Neil Anderson, Albert Bentley, Mike Oliphant, Tim McGee, Freeman McNeil, Doug Smith, Eric Coleman, Randy Wright, Rodney Peete, rookie. And we'll put Rodney up here. Alvin Walton, Bill Bates, Pete Axelem. Eric Wright, Keith Van Horn, Randall Cunningham. Put Randall to the side. Steve Court, Sheldon White, Venice Glenn, Hardy Hamilton, Tony Eason, Eric Kumaro, Mike Hayes, Maurice Carthon, Kurt Warner, not that Kurt Warner, Jesse Solomon, Tim Worley, Bill Walsh. All right, we'll put Bill Walsh there. Mike Hayes, Maurice Carthon, Kurt Warner, Jesse Solomon, Tim Worley, Andre Bruce, Richard Dent, Bill Brooks, Tony Dorsett. Put Tony up here. Jim Sco, Mickey Schuler, Johnny Reinhardt, Tracy Rocker, Keena Turner, Dick Enberg. Andre Waters, Sheldon White, Doug Williams, all right. Jim Jeffcoat, Steve Swell, Tracy Rocker, Will Wolford, Jay Novacek, Mike Haynes, Jason Buck, Dave Craig, Brad Edelman, Tom Ricketts, Kevin Mack, Dick Stockton. We're sure getting a lot of Dick in this box here. Hardy har har, right? Pat Swilling, Mike Elkins, Mark Malone, Dan Turk, Brent Williams, Mark Brown, EJ Jr., Terry Kennard, Bruce Schultz, Mel Owens, Steve Walsh, Bill Fralick. Put Bill Fralick on the side. Dan Hampton, Ray Donaldson, Dick Stockton. All right. Farrell Edmonds, Otis Wilson, Dave Wyman, Gary Zimmer, David Williams, Floyd Dixon, Dennis McKinnon, Chris Hinton, Rob Riddick, Carl Zander, Joe Walton, Gabriel Veras, Wesley Walls, Buddy Ryan, James Brown. Jim Jensen, Mark Duper, Carl Banks, John Williams, Keith Millard, another Steve Atwater, Bobby Butler, Kevin Butler, Dean Biscotti, another Chris Collinsworth, Max Montoya, Ken O'Brien, Lawrence McNew, Jim Jefferson, Pete Axelman. Clean up some of these wrappers real quick. All right. Bruce Hill, Ronnie Lippitz, Farrell Edmonds, Otis Wilson, Dave Wyman, Gary Zimmerman, Brad Williams, Floyd Dixon, Dennis McKinnon, Chris Hinton, Rob Riddick, Carl Zander, Joe Walton, Garen Veers, Jack Buck. Brian Blades, Bobby Herbert, Keith DeLong, Ernest Spiner, Bobby Humphrey, Eric Offelther, Michael Carter, Fuade Rivas, John Elway. All right, we'll put Elway on the stand. Luis Oliver, Don Majkowski, Chuck Knoll, Troy Stafford, Vinny Testaverde, Steve Sable. All right. Bill Brooks, Tony Dorsett, Mickey Schuler, Johnny Rembrandt, Tracy Rocker, Mike Waters, Sheldon White, another Doug Williams. Jim Jeffcoat, Steve Swell, Tracy Rocker. Did I get two in the same pack? I think I did. Yes. Two of them in the same pack. Will Wolford, Jay Novacek, Mike Haynes, and Joe Namath. Yeah, why not? Put him up there. James Brooks, Jeff Bryant, Hobie Brenner, Andy Hike, Hartford Dixon, Kyle Clifton, Billy Joe Tolliver, George Seifert, Herschel Walker, Dan Reeves, Brian Washington, Gene Stallings, Freddie Joe Nunn, Bob Golick, Al Michaels. Vance Johnson, Donnell Wolford, Tim Harris, John Settle, Eric Wright, Jamie Holland, another Andre Reed, Henry Ellard, Eric Farrell, Ernest Givens, Pete Manley, Jonathan Hayes, Nick Lowry, Thomas Everett. Got an O.J. Simpson. All right, well, O.J. is not worthy of the stand, I don't think. It would morally be wrong to put OJ on the stand. All right, Mike Elkins, Mark Rippon, Nate Newton, Felix Wright, Brian Davis, Art Still, Roy Green, EJ Jr., Rodney Holman, Brian Bosworth, the Boz. We'll put him to the side. Craig Hayward, Hartley Dykes, Mike Pagel, Pat Leary, Ken Stabler, Ken the Snake Stabler. We'll put him there. All right. Eric Allen, Mark May, Steve Pulier, Sammy Winder, Wesley Walls, Marv Levy, Nico Noga, Otis Wilson, Joe Kelly, Brian Millard, Dalton Hillard, Broderick Thomas, Clay Matthews, Reggie McElroy, Vern Lundquist. All right, Tim McKeer, John Teselsick, Frank Stams, Donnie Warren, Kevin Brooks, Webster Slaughter, James Jefferson, Leonard Smith, Neil Lomax, Mark Duper, James Brooks, Jeff Bryant, Hobie Brenner, Andy Hike, Dick Butkiss. All right. Andre Bruce, Richard Dent, Bill Brooks, Tony Dorsett. That's the third one. Jim Sco, Mickey Schuler, Johnny Rembrandt, Tracy Rocker, Andre Waters, Sheldon White, another Doug Williams, Jim Jeffcoat, Steve Swell, Tracy Rocker, Al Michaels. Tim Krumiri, Jacob Green, Ricky Jackson, Joe Devlin, Frank Minifield, Eric McMillan, Eric Caddis. Oh, we got Jerry Rice. All right. Put Joe down. Put Jerry Rice up there. Jerry Glanville, Carl McKelberg, Cleveland Gary, Johnny Holland, Gerald Briggs, Vaughn Johnson, Brett Musburger. All right, Derek Burrows, Jerry Gray, Billy Ray Smith, Steve Brown, Jim Arnold, Eric Affolter, Lloyd Burris, Brian Hinkle, Mark Adiquez, Keith DeLong, Steve Jordan, Joe Jacoby, Tim Brown. Put Tim Brown to the side. Troy Stafford, Hank Stram. James Hasty, Jonathan Hayes, John Frank, Albert Pinkett, Vance Johnson, Donnell Wolford, Tim Harris, John Settle, Eric Wright, Jamie Holland, Andre Reed, Henry Ellard, Errol Farrell, Ernest Givens, Ken Stabler. All right. Pull all the remaining packs out. We got 12 packs left. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, we've got Jason Buck, David Craig, Brad Edelman, Tom Ricketts, Kevin Mack, James Hasty, Jonathan Hayes, Jonathan Frank, Alan Pickett, Vance Johnson, Donnell Wolford, Tim Harris, John Settle, Eric Wright, Bob Costas. Bart Oates, Tom Ricketts, Chris Dolman, Monty Coleman, Matt Millen, Eric Wright, Keith Van Horn, Randall Cunningham, Steve Courts, Sheldon White, Dennis Glenn, Harry Hamilton, Tony Easton, Eric Kukumro, Bob Tumfrey. All right, Henry Thomas, Jay Fuller, Mark Rozier, Ruin Jones. Ooh, Deion Sanders rookie card. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Kent Ruggers, Chris Miller, Mike Merrifield, Dan Henning, Ronnie Harmon, Leroy Irvin, Anthony Bell, Bruce Matthews, Lomas Top Brown, Merlin Olsen. All right. Let's slide these down here. All right, O'Brien Alliston, Roger Craig, Brian Socia, Mike Harden, Burt Grossman, Mark Murphy, Rod Woodson rookie card. All right, we're going to put Rodney Pete down. Put Rod Woodson up there. All right. Trace Armstrong, James Wilder, Kent Hill, Kevin Green, Wesley Walker, Drew Hill, Jerry Ball, and John Saunders. All right. Jay Schroeder, Pete Metal-Zalarius, Mike Lansford, Wilbur Marshall, John Grimsley, Michael Kofer, Eric Caddis, Bill Moss, Louis Lips, Bill Parcells, put him to the side, John Delvin, Randall McDaniel, Daryl Grant, Jerry Robinson, Terry Bradshaw. All right. Be nice if we were able to see an Irvin or Aikman in here. Chris Dolman, Monty Coleman, Matt Millen, Eric Wright, Keith Van Horn, Randall Cunningham, Steve Court, Sheldon White, Vince Glenn, Harry Hamilton, Tony Easton, Eric Kimbrough, Michael Hayes, Maurice Cathron, another O.J. Simpson. Wesley Walls, Buddy Ryan, Eric Allen, Mark May, Steve Pulier, Sammy Winder, another Wesley Walls, Marv Levy, Nico Nagoda, Otis Wilson, Joe Kelly, Brian Miller, Dalton Hillard, Broderick Thomas, Frank Gifford. All right. Will Wolford, Jay Novacek, Mike Haynes, Jason Buck, David Craig, Brad Edelman, Tom Ricketts, Kevin Mack, James Hasty, Jonathan Hayes, John Frank, Alan Pinkett, Vance Johnson, Donnell Wolford, Brent Musburger. All right, we got 4 packs left here. Holding out hope here for something decent. Pete Manley, Jonathan Hayes, Nick Lowry, Thomas Everett, Bart Oates, John Ricketts, Chris Dolman, Monty Coleman, Matt Millen, Eric Wright, Keith Van Horn, Randall Cunningham, Steve Corte, Sheldon White, John Saunders. Hanford Dixon, Kyle Clifton, Danny Stubbs, Mike Kofer, Reggie Roby, Simon Fletcher, Bobby Humphrey, Brent Fulward, David Little, Marcus Cotton, Dennis Gibson, Shane Conlon, Ron Brown, Irving Fryer, Joe Namath. All right. Tom Newberry, Joe Wolf, Mike Gann, Dennis Gentry, Pat Beach, Don Bebe, Ricky Sanders, Eugene Lockhart, Bud Carson, Mike Webster, Bruce Smith, all right. Roger A. Waltz, Eric Dickerson, okay. Dan Fulcher, Joe Theismann. Last pack here. Ernest Gibbons, Pete Manley, Jonathan Hayes, Nick Lowry, Thomas Everett, Bart Oates, Tom Ricketts, Chris Dolman, Monty Coleman, Matt Millen, Eric Wright, Keith Van Horn, Randall Cunningham, Steve Corte, John Saunders. Wow. All right, well, we really didn't find a whole lot here. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Other than the Dion, Jerry Rice, the Woodson, it's really not much to sing about here. All right, so we're going to open up a couple more things here. All right, I've got a couple rack packs of 87 Topps Baseball. So we'll shift gears and open those up and see how our luck is here. All right. I'm going to have to cheat here for this one. All right, we'll go ahead and start with this side here. We got Mike Witt, Willie Randolph, Tom Humey, Robin Yount. We will put Yount up here. Steve Farr, Gary Roenick, turn back the clock, the Yaz, Brian Downing, Gary Templeton, Tony Bernazard, Andy McGaffigan, Bruce Hurst, turn back the clock, Murray Willis, Dave Concepcion, Rod Scurry, Daryl Porter, Mark Huseman. All right. Tom Waddle, Ron Kittle, Tom Nito, Stan Javier, Jeff Calhoun, Mickey Tettleton, Sparky Anderson, Ed Lynch, Mike Diaz, Roger Craig, Gene Garber, Otis Nixon, Tom Lawless, Dave Stewart, A Checklist, Danny Heap, Dave Righetti, All-Star. Wow. All right. We've got Kirby Puckett. All right, we've got Chris Brown, Mark Clear, Rick Burleson, Tony Pena, Bob Forsch, Pat Clements, Greg Walker, Ron Romanek, Mark Sullivan, Neil Allen, Jose Uribe, John Denny, Tim Wallach, Steve Yeager, Odie McDowell, Jim Rice, put him to the side. Oral Hershiser, we'll put him to the side. All right. And we've got another one here. Last one for today. And I think we're going to throw in the towel then after that. All right, let's put this down there. Start with this one here. Tony Armas, Toby Caron, Ozzie Smith All-Star, Jerry Reed, Frank Pastore, Giants leaders. Oh, we got a Barry Bonds rookie. All right, let's see here. Remove Andre Reed. We'll move Dion to the back. Barry Bonds right there. All right. Roy Lee Jackson, Steve Ontivarius, Dale Morick, Richard Dotson, Bill Buckner, Robbie Thompson, Urbano Lugo, John Stefaro, Dave Von Olean, Juan Bonilla. All right. Frank DePino, Scott Bankhead. Oh, BJ Surhoff rookie. Okay, we'll put that to the side. Jose Oquendo, Devon White, Chris Bando, Mike Bilecki, Terry Kennedy, Davey Johnson, Jeff Robinson, Nate Snell, Rick Shue, Gary Reedus, Jeff Leahy, Juan Beringer, Carl Best, John Morris. All right, in our last part here, we got Dale Murphy All-Star insert. We got a Kirby Puckett, Don Carmen, Gene Mach, Denny Welling, Dan Pasqua, Dennis Boyd, Darrell Evans, Tim Leary, Mattingly, not bad. Jerry Willard, Danny Gladden, Mike Boddicker, Mike Essler, Mitch Webster, Bob Walk, Mickey Hatcher, Keith Hernandez. All right, I think that's a great stopping point for us here. Okay, baseball did not let us down today. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. Tell your friends about us. Hoping to get this channel to grow a little bit more here. We're at 20 subscribers right now, which is awesome. But my goal is for us to at least reach 50. That way we can start doing some giveaways and some live streams and things like that. So any help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching and your support. I really appreciate it.